Good afternoon, everyone. I'm currently a master's degree student from Tsinghua University, China. And today our topic of the research is design tracking, track and replay BIM-based design process. Okay, the presentation will be given in 4 parts. First, we will explain the background, why we are so interested in this topic, and of course the objective. And second part, we'll talk about the methodology, exactly how we did this research. And third, validation, we build a prototype system to validate the usability of the system. And finally, a conclusion. So why are we so interested in the design stage? We all know design stage comes pretty early in the full life cycle of a construction project. So it only takes a small part of time and cost of the entire project. But it can be a very decisive factor for the cost, the quality, and the duration of the entire project. As you can see on the left, it's a very classic figure of the cost influence curve. The design phase is at a pretty early stage, so it has a very high level of influence to the entire project, and it has a very little cost to make changes at this stage. Therefore, if we want to improve the efficiency and the quality of the entire project, it's a good idea to look into the design stage. Let's see if we can improve the efficiency and quality of the design stage. So how to improve the efficiency and quality of design stage? Well, this is basically a way of the process of design. The owner will give a demand to the designers, for example, a design firm, and the designer will do something here and design it. And for some time, maybe 6 months later, they will provide the results of their designs, and the results will be given to the builders to continue construction. Let's see what we can have here for results. So maybe there will be some drawings, some blueprints, some documentations, and if we adopt BIM-based design methods, we can have BIM modules. But are these results enough to improve efficiency and quality of design stage? Let's ask a few questions. Why 6 months? Why can't it be 5 months? Can you build it faster? Well, sometimes the design results contain some mistakes. So why there are many mistakes? How can we reduce the amount of mistakes? These problems cannot be answered if we are only focused on the results. So we need to trace back the result into the process. That is basically how the model was built up. The data process can then reflect a designer's ideas, how they actually build up this model element by element. And it can also reflect behavior habits of the designers. And it can even reflect the experience level, whether a designer is very experienced or not so. Therefore, we want to track the BIM-based design process and then replay the modeling process to give some insight about the previous questions. Why we choose BIM? Because it is nowadays more and more popular. And another most important factor is that it actually provides accessible data of process that we can use on this research. What we mean by track is that we want to know exactly how a BIM model was built up. And about replay, it's something kind of like we play a video. We just add a video progress bar under the model, so we can drag the cursor, so you can see, we can replay the progress, we can pause, we can position to a certain point of time, you can see what was the model look like at that point of time. We don't use screen recording because if we have a BIM software and screen recording software, it will introduce serious performance issues. And we don't need any other softwares for the sake of ease of use. We just use the BIM software we use, for example, our Revit. Okay, now the methodology. We'll first analyze the BIM-based design process to get the data requirements to track and replay, and also a strategy to visualize the process. And then we design 2 algorithms. Basically, they're just 2 modules that we design: the data collecting and the visualization. Finally, we build a prototype based on Revit and use it on a small, simple module to test its usability. First, analysis. How was the BIM model built up? So basically, BIM modules are made up by elements. So there are three types of basic operations: creation, modification, deletion. So for these three kinds of operations, there are data requirements, different data requirements. They all need IDs, time, location. That is, we need to know which element is being operated, and where it is operated, and when it is operated. But for modification and deletion, there are some other extra data requirements. For example, for modification, we need to know what exactly changed. Is it the position changed, or the material changed, or some other changes? But deletion is a little tricky, because if you delete the element, it disappears from the database. So if we want to visualize that element, we need to back up the data. Every data we need to reconstruct this element. Okay. Why do we need the strategy? Because we only use BIM softwares, and obviously BIM software is not a professional visualization software, so it doesn't provide so many options to visualize it. It is convenient if we only use BIM software, but it has its own limitations because it's limited to the APIs that softwares provide. Therefore, we need a strategy to track. We need real-time data collecting using open APIs. This part needs to run correspondingly, or we can say, right when you are working, it needs to run real-time data recording. And for visualization, we need to utilize everything we have. The BIM software may provide display mode and display style. For example, here, Revit. Yeah, Revit may provide many kinds of display styles that you can choose from. These can be used as visual effects if we want to visualize them. And finally, we need an interactive control, maybe a dialog box. We need to show the progress bar, and of course, we need to show some related informations. As for the architecture, the design program, we need to code the program. So the architecture basically are two modules. One is to collect the module real time. We need to respond to user operation on the module and collect the data into our storage. And the other visualization module needs to get the corresponding file and build this dialog box for users to operate and then visualize it in your interface or BIM software. So specifically, we built a prototype based on Revit 2023, and due to time limitations, we were only able to complete this prototype system, track and replay only the creation operation, not the other two. So we built this collecting module using the event system that Revit provides. For example, we can see here, when this event is triggered, we can get edit element IDs using this argument. And the time we just use in this system, the default time. And we write all these data into our one of the local folders to store them. And the visualization module, we just get the corresponding files, and we build this interactive control panel. As you can see here, this looks really like a video progress bar. You can drag this cursor along this scroll bar, and it will take you to a certain point of time, which shown here. And of course, you can set a replay speed so that it can automatically replay at a stable rate per second and replay the whole process. As for the way to visualize it, we utilize the display mode here. So, for example, for this point of time, every element that are not created yet will be hidden in this model, and every element that has already been created will be displayed. So the effect looks like this. As the picture shows 1, 2, 3, 4, as we move the cursor along this scroll bar, the module will take the shape as what it is in this point of time. So you can see very clearly what happened at each point of time and how a module came into being, how BIM model was built up step by step. Of course, we need to make some modifications to support the modification operation and the deletion operation. And of course, we can show more information, for example, a list of element IDs that is being created at this point of time. In conclusion, so we proposed a simple system to track and replay BIM-based design process. It involves real-time data collecting, and it provides interactive replay control. It can help designers to self-learn from their past experience and it can help benefit design stage management, and for research purposes, it can trace back exactly what resulted in the efficiency and quality. Future research plans, of course, we need to support these two different operations, and the data we collected can also be used in further data mining, and all these data can be then used in deeper research into relationships. We want to know exactly what's the relationship between the process and the final result, the efficiency and quality of these results. Okay, that will be all. Thank you for your attention.